All right. I see. Oops. All right. So, am I audible? If yes, then please give me a thumbs up. Am I audible? If yes, please share a thumbs up. Okay. I have the thumbs up. Thank you. All right. So, I see around 30 people are here. Krishna Veniji, hello sir. How are you? I'm fine. Thank you. How are you? Krishna Veniji. Puneet 24 Khatri. Hello, hello, Puniji. Rumi Chatterjee is saying hello, hello. Rumiji, then Sujal Baranda is saying good evening, sir. All right, there's another Harvin Harvenry around. Thumbs up, thank you. All right, so it's a very interesting time of the year when many people are celebrating Shivratri, and many of you also, many of us actually, we fasted also. I mean, some of us could do it half, some of us could do it full, some of us did for 24 hours, and I know people who have done it even for 36 hours sometimes. Uh, so it's indeed commendable that we could utilize the great occasion of Shivratri for doing spiritual practices, and that gives everyone a lot of hope and a lot of strength, to me, to everybody else also. Okay, and the more we do such spiritual practices, the more we get benefited. Okay, so Butterflies is saying morning from UK. Well, good to see you from the UK, not very far. Cherlyn Clark is saying good morning from the BVI. I don't know what's BVI. Indrajit ji is saying morning from Ireland. Great, great. All right. Welcome everyone. So, what's today's topic? Today's topic is the topic of Jupiter's transit in the sign, in the nakshatra of Revati. Jupiter is about to reach Revati Nakshatra. When is he going to reach? On 24th of February. And then he will be in Ashwini Nakshatra on 22nd of April. Okay. So that means almost 2 months. So these are the remaining days of transit of Jupiter in the sign of Pisces, which will again happen after 12 years. So I had spoken about this some time back also in one video. But then I thought, it's good to understand the nakshatra Revati a bit more in detail. So Revati Nakshatra, as you know, is the last nakshatra. If you see, it is the end. Okay, it's not actually the end. It's because nothing truly ends in the material world, unless you perfect yourself spiritually. So many times people think, oh, Revati is a nakshatra, something is ending. No, actually, something ends, but then new things again begin. Okay, so therefore Revati Nakshatra is not literally the nakshatra of endings. If we talk from a materialistic perspective, okay, from a spiritual perspective, you can say yes, the material life is ending, and then something new is beginning. But it's more like an indication that there are certain things which we need to give up to become more happy, more fulfilled, and more elevated from inside. So what does this mean? Now, see, there are different nakshatras, and we can see, planets are getting inside those nakshatras. So what does it mean? It means that the houses that Jupiter rules in your chart, depending on your ascendant, they might undergo a similar flavor actually. So this means that if Jupiter is your Lagna Lord, then something related to your health, could be changing. You might be forced to do something new, or you might decide to do it voluntarily. Okay, so it depends on the lordships. Okay, so um, when any lord enters the Revati Nakshatra, then it is signaling you that it is time for a big change, massive change. Okay. So I had seen some of the comments in my previous transit videos, and I made a video on like this Sun Saturn conjunction. So in there, somebody commented that it has actually happened. That this lady, she went and she was like laid off from her job, but then she went and fought with the management, and then she's now back, hopefully. So transits actually impact our life, but to what extent it will impact and how will it impact, to the gravity of the impact will be dependent on the dashas. So if we do not understand the mahadasha and antardasha well, then just baselessly studying transits or seeing transit videos may not be the best thing. So now, how do you use this in context of Jupiter's transit in Revati? See, now Jupiter is transiting. So that means Jupiter will rule two houses. So assume that Jupiter is lording your fourth house, for example. Now, when he's lording the fourth house, that means it is his, how do you say, it's like his job, or rather his responsibility, or other duty, or his desire, you can say. Ultimately, it's a desire to do some change related to the fourth house. So what is the fourth house? The fourth house represents your property, real estate, vehicle, then your mother at a subtle level, then anybody who you are related to as who you consider to be a motherly personality. Can it can also show relatives from your mother's side, okay, your maternal relatives. And then the fourth house can primarily show education if it is Jupiter here, because Jupiter is also education, and we know fourth house is education. And Jupiter also gets exalted in Cancer, which is sign number 4. So there we see that knowledge and love and happiness coming from the mother and from education also. But now, when this is going to Revati, we need to check the dashas. So now it's very important, because everybody, like, so many people will have Jupiter as the fourth lord going into Revati. So does it mean they will complete their bachelor's, or their masters, or their PhD? Or for people who do not have Jupiter as their fourth lord, and if they are about to complete their bachelor's or PhD or masters, does it mean they will not complete? No, actually, it doesn't work like that. So suppose if you have Jupiter as the fourth lord transiting in Revati, and you go to your dashas and you see that you are in some kind of education, and your 10th your planetary dasha is changing in the upcoming months, which means, suppose there is a planet, you have sun in the 10th house, and then this sun dasha is getting activated, which means sun mahadasha is starting, or antardasha also can do the job. So then this can mean that your education is ending, but there is a new job opportunity which is coming for you. But suppose you have sun mahadasha, and then sun itself is sitting now in the fourth house. So this means that after your end of education, there could be another opportunity for education. So you may directly go and jump into masters after bachelor's, or from a masters you can jump into PhD. So that's exactly how this transit will play out actually. So just because it's transiting, Jupiter is transiting in Revati, doesn't mean magically certain things will change. It will change depending on your dasha. So this was the good example. Now if you see on the negative side, what can happen is, you are running like fourth lord Jupiter is in Revati, let's assume, and then you have a antar dasha which is changing somewhere, April, May, June, July, August. or Mahadasha, either one of the dashas, they are changing. But now this planet, whose dasha is starting in the upcoming months, that planet is placed in a Dusthana house. Okay. Now, what this means? So, this can mean that if your education is ending, you might be jobless for some time. It might mean that you may get a job, but the job is not up to your expectation, not up to the level that you expected. Okay. You might get a job, but this job may be in a different domain, so it's like a new beginning, it's like a humble beginning, so you got to struggle more than required. Okay. So that's what it means. So just because he's in Revati doesn't mean that it will be good or bad for everybody. So it is very subjective. Transit analysis is very, very, very uh, specific actually. And once you know the dashas, then you see transits act like triggers. So when you know what the dasha promises, then you can go and actually see what the transit is about to do in my life. Otherwise, it's just like guesswork, as they say. Your guess is as good as mine. Right. All right, so many other people. Let's have a warm welcome for everybody today. It's Sunday afternoon here in Germany. Okay, who did I left? Inderjeet ji was the last one. Okay, Subodh Srivastav is saying Namaskar, Namaskar, Subodh ji. CA Monica Sharma, please guide how to do meditation. Interesting topic, interesting question. We will discuss a bit on that now. Aheen144 is saying hi from Bhutan. Oh, great. I was in Bhutan in 2004. I was there in Bhutan when the Majesty, the king's birthday was celebrated. There's a district near to Assam border. Assam is one of the states in India, and Assam and Bhutan, they share this border, and the name of the place in Bhutan is Gelengpu. So I was there for the birthday celebration because my father was the collector of the district of Bongaigaon. So that's how I got the opportunity to go there. It was winter of 2004. It's a very nice place. Although I had some culture shock with the food, but the place was very nice. It was like a very scenic place. All right. Satyam Ankit is saying, morning, sir. Morning, morning, good afternoon. Puneet Khatri is saying, sir, please explain about retrograde planet, that is Vargottama 2. See, it's very simple. Whenever a planet is retrograde, it means there is some unfinished business. Okay. So this clearly means that whenever, now see, the thing is, when people see there's a retrograde planet, they think, oh, it will always be like that. No, it's not like that. It will only be during the antardasha or mahadasha of that particular planet. So for example, if your Jupiter is retrograde, we are discussing about Jupiter today. So the retrograde effects you will feel only during the antardasha or mahadasha or pratyantardasha of Jupiter. It's not that uh, whole life you will feel the effects of retrograde Jupiter. It's not like that. Same is for Saturn, because Jupiter and Saturn are retrograde for a very long time during the year. Okay, and we know if a planet is Vargottam, what's the meaning of Vargottam? Vargottam means a planet is in the same sign in the Navamsha and in the Lagna chart. So Varga Uttam, Varga is like the Varga charts, but here specifically it refers to the Navamsha. Okay. Now, when a planet is Vargottam, it means that there is a lot of experience from the past. Okay. So it's like saying a person is having knowledge in a particular area and the person has also worked. So the D9 can show knowledge and the D1 can show practical application of that. So if a planet is Vargotam, it means that you have not only learned and heard about that planet and its traits, but you have also experienced it in reality. Okay. Now, if a planet is retrograde and Vargotam, then this can show that either the confusion is clearing up or the confusion is increasing. So that will depend on the chart, what's actually happening, because sometimes now it can happen that a retrograde planet is Vargotam, and it is showing that okay, the person was confused before, but now because of the Kriyamana karma, which is the karma of this life, which we can check from the Prashna chart, the person is able to get rid of all the confusion. But uh, if the person is not in that state, if the person has not used his free will properly in this life, which we can also see from the Kriyamana karma, which is actually the Kriyamana karma, which we can also see from the Prashna chart, then it means the person has just misused, okay, or rather underutilized his ability. So then he has to get through more confusion. So it actually depends on the chart, and that's where the skill is, to find out what actually is going on. But always remember, just because you have a planet which is retrograde and Vargotam, it doesn't mean it is extremely good, or it doesn't mean it's extremely bad, nor does it mean that you will always lifelong get the effects. Okay, either it's good or the bad effects. Okay, it's just like a Mahapurush yoga. So suppose you have uh, Hansa Mahapurush yoga, for example. So then it doesn't mean you will always have those effects, right? I mean, you will have at a certain level, but they will be more visible when the Mahadasha Antardasha comes. Okay, Neil K. Kisyon Singh is saying Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe. Jyoti Bala is saying wow. I don't know why she's saying wow. Okay, Hara Venri around is saying good evening from Philippines. Great, great to see you. Satyam Ankit is saying combust Vargotam planets. I have a lot of videos on combustion and Vargottama planets. Please watch them, Satyamji. I hope you will get better idea, because that's like full videos. Okay, so rather than just me answering here. Dipali Acharya is saying my moon sign. Okay, maybe you're talking of Pisces. Okay, Jyoti Bala is saying, oops, where are the messages? Okay, Jyoti Bala is saying when something end, new beginnings happen. Good evening, Dipali ji. Yes. Monica Sharma is saying, I've applied for a job and Jupiter is my 10th lord. Okay, that's great. All the best for your job opportunity. And in case you do not succeed in this, just in case, then you can also do the 6 weeks money remedy. You will gain more success with it. But nonetheless, all the best either ways. Ankita Arora is saying Taurus ascendant 8th and 11th Lord. As I said, it will depend on your dashas. Okay, so 8th Lord is entering Revati, 11th Lord is entering Revati. So 8th Lord can show your in-laws, it can show something very secretive, so something secretive might be dumped inside, or something can come out. Okay, but it will depend, or you might get some inheritance or some lottery or something like this can happen. But it will depend on your dashas. So if your dashas are good, then you will get something unexpectedly positive, and if your dashas are not good, then there can be some loss depending on the dasha. Okay, and if the antardasha indicates a loss, it can be a it can be a considerable loss, but not a major one. Okay, Rakesh Rakshan is saying good evening, sir. Good evening, Rakesh ji. hmm Ankita ji is saying currently running Rahu Mahadasha, and it is in the eighth house of my natal chart. There you go. That is what I was saying. So now it will completely depend on what Rahu is doing. As I said, many times I have a lot of videos on how to read Rahu Ketu's results. So please go to those videos and see. Rahu Ketu gives the results of a lot of houses actually. Okay, not just one or two houses. So Rahu will give results of the houses where he's sitting in the bhava chart, the dispositor also. So if the dispositor is Jupiter, then Jupiter will give again results of two houses. So there are multiple houses which will come actually. So reading the results of Rahu Ketu is not very simple. It's a bit complicated, but that's how Rahu Ketu are. But it doesn't mean we can't read it. Okay, so yeah, so therefore we got to see the overall chart and understand what's going on. Okay, Rajan is saying aspects work in transit. Yes, of course, 100% they work. There's no doubt about it. Okay, Nihal Jagtap is saying, what's the result of Rashi exchange of Venus and Guru, sixth and eighth lord? Yeah, this can mean that if the 11th house is linked, then this can show that you are having difficulties, but there is growth and the enemies are losing. But if another Dusthana house is involved, it can show you are in further trouble. Okay, so it depends. The 100 Rads is saying hi. Hi. Shubha Nair is saying hello from Kenya. Okay, great. Great to see you from Kenya. Anish Parik, message retracted. Nihal Jagtap, aspects to be seen from D1 or Chalit. So by Chalit, you mean Bhav Chalit chart. Aspects always from the D1, not the Bhav Chalit chart. Period. That's the end of discussion. So conjunctions and aspects from the Lagna chart, from the D1 chart, placements and lordships from the Bhav Chalit chart. Right? That's the rule. Oh my god, there are too many comments here. Okay. Subodh Srivastava is saying, sir, my Jupiter is in 7th house. Its Mahadasha is going on. Ninth Rashi, please guide. So Jupiter is in Sagittarius in 7th house. So that means you are a Gemini Lagna. Please guide. Well, we cannot make any prediction or give any guidance just by seeing one placement, as I have said it repeatedly. But in general, if I see this in isolation, this can be good for business or education or business partnership with your spouse, but this is very subjective and very generalized. It will depend where is the nakshatra lord of Jupiter sitting, what is the Lagnesh doing, what is the sun doing, what is the moon doing, where is the Atmakaraka, and what is going on in the Navamsha. It all depends. Okay, so I'm sorry, I cannot give you a specific answer for your own chart. Okay, and on the negative side, this can mean, there are a lot of legal issues which are coming on because of your marriage, or your business partner has, like, kind of played around with you or something like that. So it depends on so many other factors also. Okay, Vaibhav Bhaumik is saying, I have this LOL as Jupiter retro in both charts. Okay, I see Jupiter vibes. Okay, Dayanand N is saying, Namaste, sir. Good afternoon. Namaste. Butterflies, butterfly, butterflies. So I have Jupiter in fourth house in Aries and Venus Rahu conjunction in third house, running Rahu Madasha. Idea will key likely play out. Okay. So your original Jupiter in your birth chart is in the fourth house, nonetheless. So, and it depends on which dasha. So you are running Rahu Mars dasha. Interesting. So during Rahu Mars, you should be very careful with your anger and your speech. Okay, otherwise you are just creating bad karma. That can give you a lot of aggression sometimes. But because it is in the third house, it can make you a bit aggressive in your communication in the social media also. So please take a note of it, and you need to be careful with the travels. There could be some accident or danger, or some blood loss during travels, because Rahu Mars, as you know, is Angarak Yoga, right? But again, this is very generalized. I again have to see where your Lagnesh is, where your sun is, where your moon is. So you will have to see how this is working out. Okay. Nihal Jagtap is saying, good evening from Pune. Great. Punyanagri, Pune. All right. Possible is saying Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna. Deepali Acharya is saying Revati star. Yes, I got it when you said moon sign. Okay, Monica Sharma is saying thanks for your good wishes. Welcome, Monica ji. Okay, my God, there's so many comments. Let me go down. Butterflies is saying, yes, I have been a bit angry. I am trying to stay calm. Thank you for, yes, that's very important. It's a very typical situation. Palak is saying, my Jupiter is in third house, retro, blah, blah, blah. Jupiter is in third house. That's good for learning and writing, especially. Very good. Payal is saying hi from Auckland, New Zealand. Oh, great. Great to know. I don't know what's the time there. Quite late, I guess. Okay. I will take some general questions because, as I said, we cannot answer specific queries from the charts. Okay. I mean, without seeing the entire chart. Let me see if there are any general queries. Okay, there was a query. Ayushi Nayar is asking, what do you mean seeing lordships from the Chalit chart? Can you please explain? So, I have a detailed video on Bhav Chalit chart. Okay, so please go and see. So, for example, let me take a very simple example. You are a Aries Lagna and your Jupiter is in Libra, for example. Now you will think that because Jupiter is in the sign of Libra, which is the seventh sign from Aries, which we find from the Lagna chart. So it's like, 1 7. So one is Aries, seven is Libra. So you see, oh, you go seven houses, it's Libra. So Jupiter is in my seventh house. Well, that may not be the case. Jupiter may be in the sixth house because Jupiter may be in the sign of Libra, but the degree where it is, depending on the Bhav Madhya and the calculation of the ascendant, it might not have reached the seventh house. It may still be in the sixth house. Okay, so that's what I mean. So please go and watch the video on Bhav Chalit chart, then you will get a full clarity about it. Okay. Okay. Chayan Pakarashi saying you are from Assam and I am from West Bengal. That's great. Khub bhalo. Very good, excellent. Mm, okay, Neues Projekt. That sounds like German. Neues Project is saying greetings from Turkey. Well, I hope things are fine with you there with this earthquakes and all this. Could you make a video about the house systems, please? Well, yeah, that's there on cards. Hopefully, sometime in the future. Lex Love is asking, did you talk about the blessing of Jupiter already? Well, I have spoken about this before, so please watch this video. I mean, what I said before was essentially that it depends on your dashas. Okay, so what's going on in your dasha? So it will depend on that how this transit is affecting everybody. Isha Sharma is saying Rahu in Revati in seventh. Great, great placement. Okay, any other general queries? Monica Sharma is asking, please explain difference between nakshatra of Lagna Lord and the moon. I have a lot of videos, Monica ji, on Nakshatra Lord, Lagna Lord, Moon. Okay, Moon Nakshatra, difference between Lagna Nakshatra and Moon Nakshatra. Okay, depend and what is the meaning of the ascendant Lord's Nakshatra. Okay, so please watch them. Okay. Okay. Deepali Acharya is asking, can you please say something about too many planets in ascendant, like five or six planets? Well, again, I can't say anything in general, but if I look at the extremes, it can mean somebody who is super talented or super confused. One of the two will be there. Okay. Somebody is saying, please make a video on Tarabal. Well, surely, for sure. Thank you. Palak is asking, sir, how transits and dasha impacts us differently. Well, see, ultimately the results are based on dashas, and dashas are based on the overall chart. So first is the chart, then is the dashas, then are transits. So transits don't give any results. They are like they just reflect. They just finally give us the results of the dasha. So suppose, for example, if you have an antardasha which is showing you will get married. Okay, now when will the marriage happen? So now in transits, when Sun, Mercury, Venus, or the seventh lord will transit the second house, or in the seventh, or in the 11th, then the marriage can happen. But just because some Venus or Sun, Moon, Mercury is transiting the second house and or seventh or 11th, and the dasha is running for the sixth house, and you say, oh yeah, this person will get married, that will be like a classic disaster. Okay, please do not do that. So first see the chart, see the promise of the marriage or the level of the chart for, finances, career, name, fame. And then you see the dashas, how the dashas are changing, mahadasha, antardasha. I have a lot of videos on mahadasha, antardasha, and all this. Okay, and then you see, okay, so the chart indicates this, and now the dashas are promising this. So within the dashas, when will it happen? Okay, so because sometimes uh, if the dashas are very long, like, Saturn mahadasha, Venus antardasha, 3.5 years, so we know what's going to happen. But when will that event happen? When? Literally within those 3 years, when will it happen? So for that, you use the transits. Okay, but the problem is people go the other way around. They will say, oh, your Jupiter has entered seventh house, so marriage is possible. Well, absolutely not. It will only be possible if you have to all if the charts indicate and your dasha indicates, and also deshkal patra. So for example, a person who is 80 years old, if the person gets a transit of Jupiter in seven, does it mean the person will get married? Most likely not, right? Or a person who is 7 years old, right? Most likely not, right? So you have to see if the person is above 25 or 28, 29, 30, and the person is looking for a spouse, and the dashas are agreeing, and the chart does not say no, then this transit of Jupiter in the seventh can give you marriage. Okay. I mean, that person, of course. So that's how you actually understand, the dashas and transits. So many people say, oh, it's very difficult to see, dashas or transits, so the problem is people, they make it, it's like in India you say na khichdi, where khichdi means you put rice, lentils and vegetables, and you just put it in the stove. So actually it doesn't work like that. It's very specific. The rules of Jyotish are very clear. So if you follow the rules, then you will understand Jyotish very beautifully. It's like a science, and there is no nonsense about, this works, that doesn't work. Okay. So you have to understand how to proceed. So first is the chart, then dashas, then transits. Okay. And then on top of that, do not forget Deshkal Patra, time, place, circumstances. Okay. All right. That will be all from my side. Thank you very much for joining. I see a lot of questions, but unfortunately, I will not be able to answer them because I have not seen your chart. So please do a comprehensive analysis and only then find results of this transit. Okay. Thank you very much, and greetings to everyone who joined. And I'm very happy to see so many people from different parts of the world have also joined. And for uh, those of you who did full fasting on Shivratri, great, congratulations, thumbs up. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it this time. I could do only half, but maybe the next time. All right. So thank you very much once again. Jai Shri Ram. Thank you. Please take care.